FaZe Clan are the ultimate European mix in CSGO. Not only do they have great leadership, but also the peak of raw skill. Players have flooded in and out of this organisation as they try to attain a singular goal: win a major championship. Over the years, FaZe Clan have been one of the most competitive teams in Counter-Strike, and you'd expect nothing less having home the likes of olofmeister, Neo, Guardian, Nico, coldzera, and that's just to name a few. Even with these names, it took FaZe 6 years to finally achieve a major championship. And that's not to say that they weren't winning in other tournaments. They took wins at ESL 1 New York, E-League 2017, ECS Season 4, and multiple Blast events. It wasn't until this year that FaZe really started to dominate. Prior to their impressive 2022 results, FaZe were known very much as the team that threw a 15-11 lead to give North America their first major championship. As the favourites going into the 2018 E-League Major, Cloud9 should have stood no chance against this European powerhouse. The team featuring Guardian, Rain, olofmeister, Nico and Karrigan just couldn't keep it together. Over the next few years, many of these names left the team, and some stars were dropped in and out of the roster in the hope to find the level they needed to win a major. The benching of Karrigan caused leadership problems that moved Nico into the IGL role, only for that to field even fewer results at S-tier events. It was Karrigan who began winning with his new team and Nico's old team, Mousesports. It was here Karrigan took a team of young players and gave them a stage to shine on. Rops was one of these players. Fast forward 2 years later, and the FaZe roster looks entirely different. No Nico, a benched olofmeister, and the signing of Canadian star Twists. It wasn't long before they realised they needed leadership. Fortunately, they knew the perfect man for the job. In early 2021, FaZe reacquired Karrigan. The roster now stood as Karrigan, Rain, coldzera, Twists, and Brokey. Unfortunately, the team was still unable to achieve the results they were after. Another change came with coldzera being benched and olofmeister being reinstated. A failure to reach playoffs at the PGL Major Stockholm and any other notable tournaments towards the end of 2021 was outrageous for a team with so much skill. Something was still missing. 2022 was destined for a full year of LAN events as COVID regulations were slowly being lifted around the world. FaZe wanted this year to be theirs, and so they made another change. Estonian star Rops was signed from Mousesports, a player Karrigan had become quite familiar with. Could this be the piece they were missing? Well, it was difficult to judge initially. A Blast event with an incredibly convoluted structure saw them finish first or third. IEM Katowice was next up and disaster struck. Rops had contracted COVID. The team quickly looked towards their options and managed to get Aussie star JKS as a stand-in. Not only did JKS have to stand for Rops, but once FaZe had made playoffs, it was Rain who then also contracted COVID. Across one tournament, JKS was given 2 roles to play and did it like a champ. FaZe won IEM Katowice with a stand-in. They didn't slow down after this win. They won ESL Pro League Season 15 before setting their eyes on the PGL Major Antwerp. FaZe qualified 3-1 through the Legend stage and went on to beat NIP and Spirit to meet Na'Vi in the final. The best 2 teams in the world in the major final, and FaZe took it 2-0. After 6 years in FaZe Clan, Rain had finally won a major championship and the major MVP. Not only had Rain finally won it after his heartbreak at the Boston Major, but he had also won it with Karrigan. FaZe looked as if they would dominate the rest of the year. They almost have. Another win at IEM Cologne and first place at the European RMRA. Although, it must be said that FaZe have slowed down since their major championship win, failing to make top 4 at Dallas, Blast Premier Spring Finals and ESL Pro League Season 16. This leaves the major wide open for competition. FaZe securing a slot in the Legend stage will give them time to iron out any issues that they've been struggling with in the latter half of the year. Not only could this be FaZe Clan's second major championship if they win, but also their first Intel Grand Slam. There's a lot up for grabs for FaZe in Rio.